Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by Play Picks and the Lines, coming to you from the West Coast. Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast, and we are looking at a pretty small Tuesday night slate here tonight, Nate. In this one, we are looking at the Raptors taking on the Phoenix Suns in Toronto. Make sure you do check out Nate's great article up on playpicks.com with some best bets and player props in there as well. And make sure to like and subscribe to that page so you can check out the other couple videos we have up for you today, including that player props video with a gift card opportunity that you must be liked and subscribed to the page to be eligible to win. And as always, if you do still need a FanDuel or DraftKings account, head to fdpicks.com or dkpicks.com and find those listings in your area, such as what we've got for tonight. Nate, let's get into it.
Yeah, we got the Suns -4 on the road at the Raptors. Phoenix just got their guys back. That is Ayton, Crowder, and JaVale McGee, but got blown out at home by the Heat. So interesting line set there against the red-hot Raptors. Total has fluctuated from around 223 to up to 224, and now it's down to 222. I definitely like the over if it doesn't get above 224. I'll tell you why in a second. We got 5 other games, though, tonight. Thunder are +9 at the Wizards. The Warriors are -2 at the moment at Memphis, total of 220. And we break that one down in a separate episode. The Pistons are +14 at the Bulls. Minnesota -3 at New Orleans with a total of 227 there. And the Nuggets are -3 at the Clippers tonight, much lower total, 213. With the Raptors, I mean, they had gone over in 10 straight prior to a slugfest with New Orleans, which is why I just said that quick aside. I'm surprised New Orleans has a 227 total. But it is an important note to say that the Suns combined for 233 when they played New Orleans last week. Phoenix has suffered defensively without Ayton and McGee and Crowder. There's no doubt about it. In their first game back, it was a bit of rust, perhaps defensively, a bit of conditioning. They let the Heat shoot 22 for 44 from deep. They got out-rebounded 49-35. And gave up 123 points. We're now talking about 11 straight games against Eastern Conference teams where either the Suns or their opponent have gotten over 111. They've gone over in 8 of those 11 games. So, and then they're 18-12 to the over outside the division, Josh, 1-8 to the over in that Pacific division. So it's something you can kind of count on with the Suns. And really what I feel even more confident in is the Raptors' high-scoring ways. In their 6-game streak here, they're second in offensive rating, 6th in pace. Over their last 13, they're averaging 114.5 points per game and the most free throws per game, with our boy Pascal Siakam leading the way in getting to the line there. The Suns are averaging slightly more, 114.8 in their last 13, and 9 of those games have gone over. And then again, the Raptors in non-conference games, 10-4 to the over. They're 13-7 to the over when dogs. This is a spot where last week we had a Raptors episode. I said hit that Raptors teaser with the over with the Bucks, and they wound up winning outright, covering a reverse 8-point spread. I do like the Raptors' chances of winning this game as Phoenix continues to try to gel after their little COVID outbreak. Cam Johnson, who we mentioned, is a huge dark horse, great dark horse pick at plus 15,000 for most improved or 6th man of the year. He's out tonight with an ankle injury, and that's very key for the Suns, right? They've struggled now, losing 2 of their last 3 against East Conference teams. It's an unfamiliar opponent that's just really hot right now. And the injuries for Toronto, Scotty Barnes with a knee issue and Gary Trent with an ankle issue are both game time decisions. If Gary Trent is active and hobbled, that is great news for anyone who bet the over. He is a walking liability on defense, but an absolute sniper on offense. And that's basically how the Raptors have been playing. They will outgun you at the other end. They will try to get out and run as often as possible, but they are not. They're 25th in 3-point defense. They're allowing plenty of free throws on the other end. So it's just there's good reason why they've gone under in 10 of their last 11 games, and why they should continue to against one of the best offensive teams out there.
Yeah, I mean, everything you're saying about Toronto is spot on. I'm a little bit scared of Phoenix, just in terms of, we mentioned it between each other, at least before the video, that, Phoenix can kind of play however they need to in terms of playing faster, playing slower. And I haven't really, gotten a grasp on when they're really inserting their will on defense versus not. You mentioned as of, that loss to Miami was really bad, still went over. A lot of these games have gone over unless they're a complete blowout where, the Suns are either they got blown out by your Celtics in Boston, and then blew out the Hornets, a couple days later in Charlotte. So the overs are hitting when the other team can stick around, and I do think that Toronto can stick around, but I'm a little bit more afraid of that over once it gets to 222, just because of Phoenix's defense on the road. Phoenix's opponents' points per game allowed on the road, it's still in the top 10, and the fact that their 3-point defense has been as good as it's been in the top 5 in terms of opponents 3-pointers made, 3-pointers percentage, all that kind of stuff. And you do see Toronto a lot rely on the 3, especially during their, recent win streak. It's been a lot of them in the top 10 in percentage points off of 3 and 3-point attempts a game, et cetera. So, if they're going in for Toronto, then I like this game to hit that over, to your point. And I think Phoenix will have to stick with them on offense and put up their points as well. But if Toronto is missing, that's where you get scared that, Phoenix doesn't need to play at that fast pace to hang with Toronto. They can really chop it up if they want, and slow the pace of that game down, as you've seen them do on the road as well. As they've, a couple times in the last 10 games or so on the road, they've had a pretty bad pace, slow pace, however you want to look at it. So, that's the only thing that scares me a bit. But I think, guys like Fred VanVleet and even Pascal Siakam as of late have been just completely on fire. And that's, something that I think you can rely on again today. I know, Chris Paul, always been a really, really good defender. I'm not sure how I feel against the younger, quicker Fred VanVleet for him, which I do like as well. I mean, in his last 5, Fred VanVleet is averaging 6 for 13 from 3. I mean, that's Steph Curry, right? That's Fred VanVleet. So, I think there's something to be said for that those shots are going to be going up at that rate for the Raptors. That's how they generate their offense. At the same time, they've been really good in the paint, especially on defense as well, getting rebounds once they've gotten their guys back, even like Chris Boucher and obviously Pascal. It has helped them in their interior. So, it's a little bit conflicting for me in that sense, because it's really going to come down to, does Toronto hit their threes? And I do think that they're like I said, they've been as hot as anybody from 3, especially in that win streak. So you can feel, pretty good about that. But before I just grab that, this is one where I do like the idea of a teaser. I do love the idea of getting the Raps at home at about 8.5 point dogs. Get that total up even more, get it up to 226 and take that, get that total down, rather, get it down to back to about 218, closer to where it opened. Take that over, and still get about pretty much even money on your return there.
Yeah, I love that. If you're just playing conservative, and I do share your concern. It's not really because of it's because of how Phoenix might play as they try to reacclimate Ayton, right? Because in their last 2 road games, it spells absolute fantastic things for this over. They've hit 17 threes in consecutive games. They have a 125 offensive rating in both games and dropped 133 and 123. If they're going to play with that kind of space and pace against a Raptors team that, again, is the 6th worst guarding the 3-point line, then, Toronto will absolutely have to come right back and try to outgun them. So I would be concerned maybe that they try to run a little bit more pick and roll with Ayton, try to keep him involved on offense, but it's not like they can't get points that way, especially against a Raptors team that has no beef down low for the most part. If Scotty Barnes is out, that's an important switchable defender that they won't have. And then the Suns allow plenty of easy buckets on the other end. Actually, on the road, they're giving up the 8th most paint points. Where Toronto, they're pretty changeable too. It's pretty impressive what they've done during this win streak, and really over their last 9 games been playing good ball. Where they don't lead the league in any sort of percentage of points. It's not all fast break. I mean, fast break points is their most frequent, but it's not all from the line. It's not all from 2 or 3. They can score whatever the defense is giving them. They have these snipers in VanVleet and Trent, but they also have Siakam, who is one of the biggest matchup problems in the league. And Cam Johnson would probably be Phoenix's best option on him, who's not available tonight. So I think you can just count on Toronto continuing to find their offensive rhythm. And then if the Suns do as they do, like you said, adjust and play, they're going to adjust trying to win this game with 120 points. And then we're going to go comfortably over, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that. And yeah, I mean, I am leaning towards, the Suns winning this game outright. I mean, their money line's at minus 165 is the Suns straight up. I don't love it just because of the road success that we've seen lately from Toronto. But at the same time, like, Toronto actually has lost each of their last 10 games when they're home underdogs. So when they don't come in favored, which I was surprised to see that they were actually huge favorites against Utah because they ended up sitting everybody and they blew Utah out the other night. But once again, I was like, wait, I know they were a home favorite the other night. They beat Utah. That was crazy. That was the only thing that was, it's not a great stat, right, for Toronto, that when they do come in as dogs at home, they seem to have a little bit less firepower.
And they were down double digits to Utah's backups. And yeah, their win over the Bucks was no Giannis. There are some asterisks here, but they're playing really good ball, and you can't take it.
They are, and I don't want to take anything away from them, and I don't want us to tread on their offense here, because I think it's what it is. It's incredible. They're giving up threes at too high of a rate, and that's something in this league that you obviously we both know. Once this league turned into teams getting 30, 40 shots up from three in a game. Now you're talking, a lot more opportunity. The Raptors are taking advantage of that, but they haven't been able to guard it. So yeah, the over is a little bit more, but before I start just feeling good, like they can hang with this Suns team, let's remember that they are at least a top 3 team in the NBA right now. And that their defense has been, at least capable of winning them games, even if it's down the stretch. And like I said, that 9 of their last 10 losing for Toronto when they are home dogs is a pretty telling stat. I think it's a big enough sample size for me to feel a little bit worried about it. But either way, yeah, total is my favorite bet as well, including that under. That over. So anyway, that is all the time we have for this one. Make sure you do like and subscribe to that page. Got a couple other videos with a gift card opportunity in that player props video. And until we see you next, happy betting.